Hi everyone, welcome to Closet Confections TV and another edition of Fashion and Beauty Friend Friday. Today's topic is blogger envy. Question number 1. Have you ever looked at someone else's blog and thought yours will never measure up? So I'd be lying if I said that never happened to me. It happens less now that I've been blogging for I think about 8 months now, but definitely in the beginning I felt that way. And even now, like when I log onto the Glamour-eye, for instance, I pretty much feel like throwing in the towel. But all kidding aside, when I see other bloggers that do great things, if they have great outfit posts, if they just have great personal style, if they know how to thrift and score vintage finds like nobody's business, rather than feeling inadequate myself, I just think, I use it as a source of inspiration to think, okay, what are my strengths? What are my skills? Where does my, where does my strength lie, and how can I make that better? What can I do to spur myself on and kind of reach the next level? So that's kind of how I view it these days. Number 2, do you or did you feel pressured to meet some kind of undefined standard for fashion bloggers? Again, yes, definitely. And mostly in terms of kind of the look and the feel of my blog. For instance, when I first started out, I was taking my photos with the point-and-shoot camera. I was kind of just taking them indoors or kind of like in a darkly lit corridor somewhere and not really having no photography background or, a boyfriend or a husband who's a great photographer. Kind of just trying to feel my way around. But as I looked at other blogs that I enjoyed and I liked the look and feel of their photos and whatnot, I noticed that they were using higher quality cameras, they were taking their shots outdoors in the daylight, and so I tried to incorporate that into my blog. So I did, invest in, I went on eBay and found an affordable DSLR camera. I did go ahead and get a tripod and a remote so I could take my photos in the middle of the day because by the time I get home it's like pitch black outside. So yeah, that was one thing I did. Also in terms of my layout, I like a clean, uncluttered look. I like to, draw attention to the content and not have other things be a distraction. So that was part of my decision to move away from Tumblr and move on to WordPress, where I have total control over the design and the look and feel of my blog. Also too, I self-host now, which make sure people can actually get to my blog. That's the number one thing, making sure people can actually log on. So yeah, in terms of undefined standard for fashion bloggers. Now in terms of style, like I know there are certain niches of fashion blogger styles. I don't feel pressure so much to dress like someone else. That's, first of all, it's boring. Who wants to look like somebody else? But in terms of just being professional, treating my blog, like I know some bloggers blog professionally, I do not. I have a day job, but I do look to them as kind of an aspiration of where I'd like to be at some point and try to treat it as something that is not just a little more than a hobby at this point. I think my husband would definitely agree. So, number 3, many established fashion bloggers are also extraordinary DIYers, bakers, and crafty people. Do you think you need to combine all of these things to be successful at blogging? No, not at all. I don't think you necessarily need to combine those things. If those are strengths of yours and you enjoy doing them and you want to share it with the rest of the world, or even if they're not currently strengths but things that you genuinely want to get better at, then yeah, I think combining those can only benefit your blog. However, I don't think they necessarily have to be those things. You could be like a great gadget guru girl, or maybe you're just very funny, very witty. Like I know some people, they could be stand-up comedians, and they're terrible at baking. They couldn't, sew a skirt or knit a scarf to save their lives. So in their cases, yeah, it probably wouldn't make sense to try to focus on those things for their blog. But I definitely think that as much as you can bring different aspects of your personality, different strengths or skills that you have to the forefront, and kind of make them accessible to other people so they can see, people like to see the whole person. So I think as much of that you can bring to your blog and share with the rest of the world and teach other people new things, the better off you're going to be. For me, for example, I don't consider myself to be very crafty. I do like to learn. I do like to do projects and things like that, but I definitely wouldn't consider myself a serious DIYer. But every now and then I like to attempt a project that I think, other people will enjoy and can learn from, so I'll do that. But I think there are probably other skills where, other areas that make more sense for me and probably for you guys too. Number 4, the most successful blogs are the ones that have their own personal voice. How are you developing your voice, or how did you find yours? Yeah, definitely finding my voice is something that I want to focus on in 2011. I think that for me in particular, it's kind of been, I guess, a journey. At first I was just kind of writing different things and just trying different things, and then just getting a gauge of what do I enjoy writing about, what seems to kind of get the most response from, what's the most engaging for my readers, what do they enjoy reading, I think has helped. So I think right now my voice is definitely, part of the reason I started the blog. Just a quick background story. I have a career in technology. So I spend all my days talking to guys in the IT department, speaking bits and bytes and T1 lines and encryption and compression, and just talking data. And so even though that's my job, and and people that I interact with don't necessarily, they're the most fashionable, and I wasn't either for a good portion of my time in technology. But it's kind of, my blog was just an outlet for me to kind of have that touch of glamour, kind of have that, an outlet for me to express myself professionally through the way that I present myself to the world, so through my dress and whatnot. So rather than just wear stodgy suits or, all black, which I went through a phase of doing that, I try to inject some color, try to inject some of my personality, a lot of my personality, and some, quirkiness into my wardrobe. And last question, toot your own horn. What's one thing that you do that is unique to you and your blog? What gives your blog an edge? So, I hate to be cliche, but I would definitely say it's me. There's only one Kendra at closetconfections.com. So just all the experiences that I've had, my personal style, my personal flavor, my take on life, the way I see things, the way I would put an outfit together is going to be completely different from the way, someone else would do it. So I think that my sense of humor, which can be a bit dry at times and sarcastic, are definitely things that I try to bring out in my blog. Definitely just my aspirations, my goals, my dreams, my hurts. Not to get too sappy on you guys, but just bringing me to the table. I think that's all that, at the end of the day, that's all you can do. That's all anyone can do, is just really be themselves, be you. No one else can be a better you than you can. So just really focusing on that and bringing that to the forefront, I think, is what ultimately gives me, or what gives anyone, an edge. So enough rambling from me. I'm a little bit under the weather, and I think I have to go blow my nose soon. But thank you for listening in to another edition of Fashion and Beauty Friend Friday on Closet Confections TV. Stay warm wherever you are, or stay cool if you're in a warm climate. And yeah, have a happy 2011. Bye.